Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be telling you about 5 countries where you can settle down permanently after studying abroad, and I'm going to be telling you how you can go ahead and do that for yourself. At the end of the video, I will also be telling you about how you can figure out which are the most reputable universities to go on to in these 5 countries. So I hope you hold on and watch the video till the end. If you're new over here, you should consider subscribing to the channel because this channel is all about studying, living, and working overseas. Now, let's begin. The first country over here, and I think you have probably guessed what this video is most probably about, right? Like, this is the top of the list country. It's, you guessed it, Canada, right? Canada is the king of immigration, you can call it that. Yes, my friend. If you want to settle down in a different country after studying and you want sort of like, as close as it gets to a guarantee that you'll be able to settle down, Canada is the country for you, my friend. So the typical pathway looks a little bit like this. You first go ahead, you study, then you go ahead and you apply for a postgraduate work permit, and after that, once you are on that and you're fulfilling certain conditions, you can go ahead with the express entry. So this is generally the pathway that you will be following if you are going to Canada. The most important contributing factors over here are your age, your linguistic abilities, your spouse's abilities. If you have a Canadian degree or diploma, that's going to be very helpful. If a province is interested in having you and it's in their best interest, they will sponsor you under PNP again, which is going to be great for you. Then there's the job offer. If you have a job offer, of course, things are already sorted for you for the most part. And finally, if you have relatives and family in Canada who can sponsor you, that's also another great way to increase your chances. Over here, I'd like to remind you guys that Canada follows a points-based system, and the contributing factors I just mentioned are used to give you points. And if you cross the threshold amount of points, in that case, what you can do is you can send in an expression of interest, after which they will give you an invitation to apply. And finally, of course, you're going to be able to move forward with the process from there. Point number 2, and that is New Zealand. Okay, all right, let me tell you why. New Zealand also follows a similar points-based system, and in general, the pathway is pretty easy to understand. First, you study in New Zealand, and once you're done with your studies, you go on and you apply for the skilled migrant category resident visa. Again, the points which give you the amount of points that you need are your age, your educational qualification, your work experience, your family ties, of course, and finally, the job offer. You need to have that as well. So again, these are the contributing factors. The country number 3 over here is Australia. And the general pathway again is very easy. It's first you study and then you go for the Skill Select Migration program. This is again a similar points-based system as followed by New Zealand and Canada. And the most important contributing factors that you will find in this program are as follows: your age, your English language proficiency, your work experience, your educational qualifications, of course, then whether you've studied in Australia or you've worked in Australia, that counts. And finally, if your spouse has some similar credentials, that also counts in your favor. Country number 4 over here, guys, it's of course no other than Germany. Now, first off, the major pro of studying in Germany is that most cases you can get away with studying for free if you're going to a public university. And if you gain 2 years of relevant work experience in Germany, you can actually go ahead and apply for permanent residence, which is often known as the settlement permit in Germany. The most important contributing factors over here, number 1 is your employment. You must have employment, not only for that duration of 2 years, but even after that when you're going for the PR application. Okay. Number 2 is your German proficiency level. That should be B1 or higher. If you do not know the scale I'm talking about, go ahead, do some research. But again, it's not a very high level, but you should still be able to get that much. Most Indians or most people that I know who go to Germany and they're not comfortable with the language, it's going to be very hard for you to settle down in a country anyway. So invest some time and learn the language. Again, point number 3, there are other small things such as your proof of accommodation and of course the 2 years of experience in Germany that you needed. But there's really a lot of small minor requirements, but in general they're not really worth mentioning in this video because most probably you're already fulfilling them, such as having a passport, right? So I'm not going to be mentioning them here. Finally, Last but not the least, we're going to be talking about country number 5 over here, which is Singapore. And what is so special about Singapore? Let's see. The process is as follows. First, you complete your education in Singapore, which of course comes at a fraction of cost as compared to countries like the US and Canada. Next, once you're done with your education, you go for the long-term visitor pass. Yes, you cannot directly go for a work permit. You have to go for the long-term visitor pass, which essentially isn't really long-term. It's just 1 year. And in that 1 year, of course, you have to be working. Once you are through with that 1 year, now you can go ahead and you can get the work permit. Okay, and within 2 to 3 years of working on the work permit, you are now eligible to apply for PR in Singapore. There are a couple of routes over here, but the general most taken one for you guys, at least for my audience, would be the PTS scheme, which is the Professional Technical Personnel and Skilled Workers scheme. And there's just one major contributing factor over here, of course, apart from the other minor requirements like your passport, photographs, etc., right? The major factor over here is employment. You should, at all times, you should have employment. When you're on the long-term visitor visa, you should have employment. When you're on the work permit, 2 to 3 years, you should have employment. Even when applying for PR, it takes 6 to 12 months, you should still have employment. So these are my top 5 countries if you are looking to settle down overseas after studying. Now, hold on. Before you leave, I want to tell you about all of the universities, the reputable universities that you can check your chances about, whether you can get into some of these universities in these countries that are listed down, right? All you need to do is go on to YMGrad.com. Once you're here, just go to the universities drop down and select the universities by country. Once you find the universities by country, you can go ahead, take a look at US, Canada, whichever one you prefer. For instance, maybe I prefer Canada, right? So I'll take a look and I'll open up the University of Alberta, let's say, right? And I'm going to be taking a look at all of these credentials. What are the average scores? Can I even get in? What is the tuition? Can I afford it? Etc. etc. And of course, you can also rate your chances over here based on your profile. If you're signed up, this feature is available. Again, you can basically go ahead and take a look at all of that. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you want the link to the website, it's going to be in the description. I hope this video helps, and I hope it helps you in your journey to settling down overseas in another country of your choice. Have a great day ahead. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care for now.